Hi, I'm Bill Ganz, and welcome to another episode. I have the distinct pleasure to be here with Lance Orlob, an emerald at Nu Skin. Welcome, Lance.
Hey, thank you so much, Bill.
This is an exciting time, and Lance is going through the social media personal branding thing. He's getting involved in his System 7. He's growing with Nu Skin. Lance is a very interesting guy, and I was very excited to have a moment to talk with him today because he is one of 7 million, what they called LO, or loan officers, in the United States. It was the highest paid salespeople, highest trained salespeople in the United States for the last 10 years, all out of work today. So Lance, welcome. Let's talk about you for a minute.
Oh, the rise and fall.
So the big thing we talk about in social media is our Zero to Hero program, and we literally, like the Marines, we don't leave our buddies behind. Lance is the opposite. He's hero to zero. So he's like everybody else in this economy, reinventing himself.
Absolutely.
With a great deal of humility, with a great deal of pride, with a great deal of releasing those material things in his life. If success is a journey, talk to a person that's been on a journey. Lance, tell us a little bit about your background as a loan officer, building relations with people.
Well, I mean, ultimately, I got involved in the mortgage lending industry about 12, 13 years ago, and one of the first loans that I was writing happened to be somebody that was in a very unique situation financially in their life. They were in a form of a bankruptcy called the Chapter 13. Right. And I was a brand new loan officer. I didn't know much. And so I went to my boss at the time and I said, gosh, can I do this loan? This is a client that, found me and I'd like to, help these people. He's like, boy, you know how to pick them. And he said, that's probably going to be one of the most difficult loans that you'll ever write. But if you learn how to do it, you can do it with a program through the Federal Housing Administration. And once you figure it out, come talk to me because I have a plan.
He had a very special niche market that he catered to in the beginning of this down economy, which was a very specialized market.
And so ultimately, that kind of set my loan officer career in full gear. I became one of the very few people in the country that knew how to do a bankruptcy loan for the Federal Housing Administration, and most of my competition was the subprime marketplace, which was basically at 9 and 10% when I was at 6 and 7%. So they just couldn't compete.
It's an interesting thing. You talk about the evolution of time, but me, nearly 50, I've been through 3 downed economies. The first 2 were recessions. This one's a depression. We are at a low of all-time lows. The interesting thing is your friendship with Kenton Worthington, and as he would tell me with his buddy Lance, was so funny because he was making a boatload of money and Kenton was really, really successful. And the interesting, they would play back and forth. Him in real estate, and Kenton and Nu Skin, they'd go back and forth. They have competitions and holidays and family things. And then one day, Kenton said, I knew I'd get that call. I knew I'd get that call.
Yeah,
Lance didn't have a plan B.
I didn't have a plan B. It's interesting. I honestly thought that my career was so safe because the worse the economy got, the more people filed bankruptcy, the more they would need me. It literally took an act of Congress and a swiping of a pen. My entire career of 12 years was gone overnight. So Kenton, being my close friend, knew, and he knew I was looking. He knew that I was trying to reinvent myself, and he actually
threw him a lifeline.
He actually invited me to lunch one day, and he said some very powerful words. And if you'd like, I'll share them with everybody.
Please, please.
He said, you know what, Lance, you want what I have, but you've been too successful, and of course he meant arrogant, to really look behind the curtain and see what it is that I do. And you have some misconceptions, quite frankly, about what I do for a living. But if you will really look behind the curtain, you'll find exactly what you've been looking for. And then the most important thing, he said, look, if you'll do this with me, I'll teach you how to do it. And that kind of began my quest of let's find out what this is all about. What are the misconceptions that I have about network marketing? And he was right. As soon as I absolutely did my due diligence, I found something that I can't even really describe, and it's changed my life. I'm the father of 6 and very happily married, but I believed in being so financially successful. That's all I really focused on. And so I sacrificed so many things along that path, and ultimately I'm doing Nu Skin because it's the fastest way home.
Well, the thing about Nu Skin is it's got a plan. It's got a group of leaders to help you find out where your skill on their team is and how they can help you with you. They've got System 7 training in place. They got the decades of experience. They have billions of dollars of success over the years and nearly $1 billion in research and all the products they've done. But the key to it has been dealing with a level of certainty.
Yeah.
And today there's so many network marketing companies out there, and it's like putting it all on red. Would you put your family name? Would you put your reputation? Would you put everything on red and spin the wheel, win or lose?
That's exactly how I felt, and the answer was absolutely not.
Would not. And to me, the more I get involved with this, the more people I see. And the truth is, Kenton says, the more you look, the better we are.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild when you talk about that? Now, you've been doing these things and working the plan and here with Kenton. And the Kenton's deal is he helps people build their 12.
Yeah.
And their 12. And in Kenton and Richard Worthington's specialty is international business and global development, which in this industry is very successful.
Absolutely.
They make themselves available to their team members, of which you're one of. Proudly, and they give you the systems and tools, and they help you in the training, and they bring in people. Can you find a negative? Because you were skeptical before. Can you find a negative?
No, I can't find a negative. And you know what? In the economy in which we're living in right now, I think everybody is looking for a global diversification of their income. That was a hot button for me.
Sure.
And so when Kenton said, look, I've been there, I've done that, and he was willing to teach me. And again, you don't get multimillionaires teaching you their secrets in the traditional business world.
Giving you the blueprint to success.
They don't give you the blueprint because then you become their competition.
That's right.
So it was really unique to see and watch Kenton match my efforts as I kind of engaged in this and worked with me and literally for me. Okay, and he chased the business all around the globe, and now I have business in 10 or more countries. It's just unbelievable to me.
Well, to me, that's part of it, but I've watched Kenton say this time and time again. I will not give you anything, but I'll match effort for efforts, will you?
Absolutely.
I will not do it for you, I'll do it with you.
Absolutely.
But an industry where you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, people talk about help, but do they really ever go that mile? They get you in the deal, but then they go get someone else in the deal, someone else, and they left you behind at the altar.
Yeah.
This is a team of people like the Marines. We don't leave anybody behind.
Well, it's interesting because I actually, thought about this because I'm also a new father. I have a little 7-month-old little baby, and we don't just birth somebody into this business and then never love them, and never feed them, and leave them to die.
Right.
We celebrate every step along the way until they grow a little bit of muscle and they can roll over and sit up and pull themselves up on furnishings and eventually take their next step. And then we move back a little bit and have them take more and more steps. And along the way, we're clapping because that's what you do for your kids. That's how you encourage a little child to absolutely take their first step. And that's exactly what I found here. It's just unbelievable. Yeah.
Today we learned for the first time about pamper parties. And this is one of the things that Lance is going to talk to you about. But we're going to pick it up on the next episode. I want to take a minute. We're going to talk about pamper parties. We're going to talk about having fun. We're going to talk about fishing. We're going to talk about growing your brand, personal branding, and you. Lance, I want to thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
You'll see many more episodes with Lance. And we'll be back to you soon. My name is Bill Ganz. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.